Hey guys, welcome back to the Rust Belt channel, and today I'm ready to do my first unboxing and review of the new Bam and Slappy truck collaboration. I will say this is not a sponsored video, and I have already opened the box just to confirm that everything in here does not have my house address showing. So let's start it off. Now I will say I didn't really need new trucks, but I've always been super curious about Slappy Trucks. Mike Sinclair seems like a cool dude. I've seen a lot of videos of him just hanging out with the 9 Club and doing his team manager stuff for Toy Machine, so he's always seemed like a super rad guy. And I love to be able to support smaller companies like that that are trying to make their mark, and people that actually care about the skating community get in there. So this came from Skate Warehouse. So not really fun, but it just came in a UPS bag. And going in here, it looks like each truck was sent individually. While ordering from them, I did notice that they do sell one truck at a time, so you need to make sure that you have both. And I believe in total with shipping, it was about $75. All right. So before we open that up, super cool bag that they come in. And there we go. The Bam Slappy truck. So right off the rip, this is a hollow. It is pretty light. It's very comparable to what I already have. These are the Indie Hollows. I think it's a pretty unique color set. It's purple and black. I don't feel like I see that a bunch with trucks. But of course it's Bam Margera, so he had to make sure that it was that color scheme, because primarily it was either that or pink for Bam, I feel. All right, so that's one. And there's two. So this is going to be kind of a hard test for me to do because I don't have a rail here. So I think I'm just going to start off by just putting this on, riding around, and trying to get a feel of how they even move. Because like I said, I've never rode Slappies before. I waited a few months. I think I heard about this about probably 4 months back that Bam was having a truck. And I've had these guys for probably 5 years. So as you can see, I don't do that much grinding. Like I'll hit the mini ramp or like a slappy stick or do some curves. But grinding's not one of the big things that I focus on when skating. So we'll do some testing, comparison to feel how they compare to indies. Primarily, what I've skated my life was originally Ventures, probably because they were cheaper as a kid. Moved on to Destructo, and then I feel like the past 10 years it's been just into indies. So, really excited to give these a go. So, wait and see. Let's get this thing together. So, the first thing I'm going to want to do is mark my truck. For anyone that's new to skating, or maybe some veterans out there, it's typically good to put a little bit marker on the truck stating what side of the truck this is. So I'll put an F here for front, and then this guy will get a B for back. Had to go find a silver Sharpie. Black on black wasn't really going to work. So what I would say, one of the main reasons why I decided to go with these, not just because I've been interested in Slappies, is because Bam Margera was huge when I was younger. Like people want to hate on him for saying, oh, he wasn't that good at skating, and there's so many better pros out there, and the only reason why people even care about him is CKY and Haggard and Jackass and Viva La Bam. And I get it, but what I will say is that dude got so many people in my grade, in my age range, literally everybody started skateboarding, which was great for the community. You know, without having that kind of influence, you're not going to get new people into the game. I mean, look at it now. We're basically holding on with just a bunch of old dudes that now have money to go out and buy boards. So, when I saw this, I know the last few years, you know, Bam was really struggling, obviously. You know, if you keep up with any kind of skateboarding, his name is always in there still. And he was doing terrible. But it seems from the last year or so that he's really cleaned up. I mean, I haven't seen this guy skating at this level in a long time. So anybody that's talking shit, I would say dude's skating probably the best that he's done in like 20 years. So go out, try to support the guy, help the guy, you know, show him that you actually care about what he's been doing. Like, it's good that we're getting a bunch of these dudes that are getting older, that did a lot of drugs and alcohol and are trying to sober up, get back into, you know, back into skating. One thing I'm curious about is the bushings in this. I actually did no research in them. I know the first thing that I would always do with my indie trucks is straight away buy a harder set. The ones that come with indie are what I would call soft. So I'm a heavier dude, and I need a little bit of heavier bushings to make sure that I am not tearing them up. Oh, another thing I didn't mention, I do like how these trucks actually mention the board size on them. It's like every truck company has like a weird sizing, so it's very hard from when you're going to one truck to two trucks. I get that boards have different wheelbases, so it makes it harder than to, you know, really find out what truck you should be using. You know, I don't understand why they can't just do like between a size 8 and a size 825. Just be so much easier. But I guess if you've been skating long enough, you probably should know your truck size. Won't hold you to it, because I doubt that anybody actually knows their truck size. I guess the next step is I'll go outside, ride around, kind of get a feel. Alright, so your boy's an idiot and he forgot to turn on the microphone. So I guess I will spare you guys an outro and just mix it in with my review. So first thing I noticed is that the bushings are super stiff on Slappies. I don't know what the hardness on these are. I guess it kind of reminds me something closer to the independent hard 94A bushings. So potentially, you know, these are something that might work just straight off the bat for me. But I think it's going to take a couple of sessions to really break these in to kind of see where they're at. I do also want to note too that I did not have the trucks exactly how I like them. Originally, I made them way too tight, and then I tried balancing it out, and the back was ending up being too tight, and the front was too loose. So, as I'm trying right now with these pop shove-its, I kept leaning too far, and it almost got to the point where it kind of felt like wheel bite. So either, you know, that's a part of the stiffness of that, or I'm just not used to the trucks yet, so we'll see. We'll keep it moving. And then the final part that I really noticed is that when I was doing my kickflips, the snap feels a little bit off, so I don't know if it's because the trucks are heavier or lighter, if the size of the truck are, you know, taller or shorter. Just something about it doesn't seem quite right. Now, it doesn't feel bad. You know, the trucks are super light. You know, I'm not seeing any issues so far. I think a part of it is I'm just not quite used to it yet. So as you can see, it's a little bit darker out. I went inside. I got my trucks tightened up a little bit better to closer how I like riding them. And I will say that they feel 100% better. guessing in the next few sessions I won't even really be able to tell that I have different trucks from the indies. So, apologies for me not getting any grind tricks in. I only have the 8-foot Slappy at home, and pulling that thing out by myself is a pain, especially if it's just going to be me skating. So when I'm back from vacation, I plan on doing some grind stuff and making a part 2 of this. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys ride Slappies and how you feel about them. Peace.